And it is time to lawyer up with attorney Will McKinley from the Menn Law Firm. Good morning, sir.
It's so exciting. Fall is here. It's nice and breezy and cold and pumpkin spice. False. God, I hate this. It's like 50 degrees outside.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
cold.
with you.
It's
I wasn't
disgusting.
ready. I wasn't ready for it.
You know, and this is the problem. Give me a little bit of time to acclimate, but we go from 80 to 45 in the course of like
now.
a week.
No, it's like a day.
I'm being robbed of my natural transition from summer into autumn, into fall, into early winter.
He's speaking
and
facts.
We're cutting to the chase, and I don't like it at all.
I love it.
And I know others share my concern.
Me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, you're not the only 40-something who's a crotchety old
I
man.
hate it.
That's true.
I still have tan lines. It should not be this cold. I still have tan lines.
That's so real. That's
Anyways, for all of you who look forward to fall and you talk about the fall stuff, well, you can sit on it and spin for all I care.
Are you wearing shorts today?
I'm not. I'm wearing jeans. I don't
Okay.
think I've worn jeans in like 4.5 months.
All right, I thought maybe that was poor clothing choice, and that's what
I'm
set
wearing
you off.
Jeans. I'm wearing a pullover. I'm cold. I had my heated seats on this morning. That's how ridiculous it is around here.
All right, let's get to the first story on the docket.
Serious minds with hearts that care. Menn Law Firm. Exceptional results are waiting there. MennLaw.com takes you there.
Headline from the New York Post. Delta United Airlines sued for charging extra for windowless window seats.
That's right. This is a lawyer up on your side consumer alert. We still got to get the sound effect.
I didn't know you wanted it.
Proposed class actions were filed. I've been saying it for like 10 years.
I don't think that's
need
true.
our lawyer up on your side consumer alert.
Look, you wanted a case update sounder. I got you a case update sounder. Now you want this. You give me a little time.
Yeah. Proposed class actions were filed against United Airlines in San Francisco and Delta Airlines in Brooklyn, New York, seeking millions of dollars of damages for more than 1 million passengers for each carrier. Now, the complaints say that some Boeing 737s, Boeing 757s, and Airbus A321s, those planes contain seats that would normally have windows, but lack those windows because of the placement of the air conditioning ducts.
Oh.
And so what's happening is you book your flight, now you get to pay for the privilege of having a window seat on many airlines. It's not, you just get your seat. You got to pay for it. So people pay the extra $10 or whatever it might be to have that window seat, only to board the plane, sit down, and realize they just have a plastic wall to look at it.
Right. So you actually have less shoulder room and
Correct.
you paid $10.
Correct. You
Less
paid for the
shoulder room,
privilege
yeah.
where you don't have the gap that you can kind of lean into. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. So these consumers, or these class action plaintiffs had the plaintiffs known that the seats they were purchasing were windowless, they would have not selected them, much less have paid extra. I think we can all agree that's probably the case.
True, yeah.
Probably the case.
Unless people just don't want the middle or the aisle seat. They want the inside seat.
Now, the situation here with one of the plaintiffs was that United refunded the fees. So when the plaintiff complained, United's like, oh, yeah, you're right. We got to owe you the money for 2 flights, but not a third flight. Now, here's what I don't understand about this. Shame on you. You do it once. Okay, that happens. You do it twice, and then you do it 3 times. It seems unusual that the ticket buyer would keep stumbling upon the seat that is windowless and keep buying that ticket.
Yeah. That is, unless, of course, you are trying to bait them into a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
I think we have a setup here.
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
I think we've got a setup here.
I'm feeling that, too.
And they tried it the first time, and United said, okay, we're sorry, here's your money back. Crap. All right, let's try it again. Oh, here's your money back. Crap. Let's try it again. Aha, we got him. Let's file that class action lawsuit in federal court. Now, according to the lawsuit, a company can't misrepresent the nature of the product it sells and then rely on third-party reviews to say a customer should have known that it was lying. Now, where this come from is the fact that there are many message boards and other third-party, Travelocity, or I don't. Is that a thing anymore? I don't like.
Expedia still is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I book on that sometimes.
You go to Ask Jeeves or Netscape, and you look up the ticket.
Yeah, it was Netscape that I got it on. By the way.
On your Earthlink connection.
I use AOL 1.0.
And it will disclose the fact that like the seats don't have windows, and so. Some of the argument here is, well, you were on notice that these seats, but you bought them anyway. And of course, they're saying, well, no, you're still advertising. Now, the problem is not all planes are the same. So you have the same 737, but the configuration of the plane by plane, even within the same fleet, apparently is different.
Okay.
So the airlines, like their ticketing, doesn't account for the differences. It's just there's 38 seats in this section, and these are all up against the bulkhead, so therefore it's a window seat, not recognizing that sometimes there's that gap.
So who do you like here? You like the class action people?
I like
the airlines?
I like the class act. I mean, this is a legit. You can't sell tickets, and the airlines could reasonably take steps to have their software differentiate, or at a minimum, refund. What I don't know is how many people bought the tickets and didn't get a refund, because I can imagine most people aren't going to bother complaining, right?
Sure.
You do it, it's $10, whatever. You're traveling, you don't care.
Right.
You're just happy you got home.
You already got, by the time you boarded the plane and get all the way to your destination, you've already gotten ripped off 3 times.
Oh, 3.
3 times
before the plane took off, you got ripped off.
You got ripped
3 times.
off in the parking lot of the airport, frankly.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. So I like it. I like the case. I think it's legit.
Yeah.
I do. I honestly do. I do think it was a setup, though.
We'll follow
for
it
sure.
The 3 times just seems a bit interesting to me.
Put a pin in that one. We'll come back.
We'll keep an eye on it.
All right. Next headline from WFLA.com. Man won't stop blaring train horns from his house, leaving neighbors fed up.
I love this guy. This guy is just a king among men. His name is Gary Boydzen. Okay, now Gary lives in just a residential neighborhood, but he blasts train horns, like straight up train, like freight train horns, randomly, just throughout the day. He just blasts the train horns. Now, and the train horns only shut off when the air runs out, because it's, an air horn. And then he just turns it back on. It has a range of 3.5 miles. That's where how far away you can hear this stupid train horn blast. Now, apparently, Boydson has a long-running grievance with LAPD over a personal issue that essentially the loud sirens are his way of getting the department's attention. And so what he'll do, he'll just randomly blast them. People call the cops and then make the cops have to come for the noise complaint, but by the time the cops show up, the noise is done. And under, I guess, local ordinances, if the cops don't witness the actual nuisance,
right,
there's nothing the cops can do.
It's the dumbest thing.
Now, they could hear it on their way to his property,
sure.
But once they get there,
when you hear a train horn,
it's off.
Where you hear it, but you don't know where it's emanating from unless you see the train coming down the tracks.
And just because they see the horns on his roof,
right,
doesn't mean that's the horn they heard.
Those are decorative horns.
That's right.
Hand to God, those are just decorative train horns that I have all over my front yard.
They light up for Christmas.
My blood pressure is rising. Just listen to this.
Now, so KTLA interviews this guy, and he's like, "I'm sorry to discomfort my neighbors. I really am. I don't mean to do this, but
stop.
This is my way. This is how I'm enacting justice with the police department." Now, he didn't say what his personal grievance was, so we don't necessarily know what it is. Now, of course, the neighbors are losing their minds because this guy. And again, it's not like a noon whistle where, okay, every noon, here comes the siren.
It's just different times.
It's just, it could be 8:45 in the morning, and all of a sudden you just hear a freight train blasting in your backyard.
And he says, quote, "I honestly to God am so sorry to discomfort you guys, my neighbors in your own homes, but I don't know what else to do."
Yeah, the neighbors are not sympathetic.
No, and he's like saying, "I need help. I want justice to be served," but he's not saying for what.
Right.
Like, dude.
This guy's got about 2 weeks before someone goes up on the roof and deals with the problem.
Yeah, he's asking for it, is what he is. This is where vigilante justice, I think, really comes in.
I mean, These are the gaps that end up getting filled by other
But
people.
But he also sounds a bit unstable.
He's definitely
Yes.
that.
So you get up on his roof and you go up there, I'm ripping this thing down, and he comes out with a firearm. I don't know. I'm not
This
messing
could
with it.
be. I mean, this could lead to a bad situation. And these are the neighbors. I mean, you hear about the stories about like the people who buy like roosters.
Yeah.
And like the neighbor disputes that break out just because people are so sick and tired of listening to their roosters, doing their rooster. What do you call that? What do you call a rooster call?
Rooster crow?
Yeah.
Crow?
A rooster crow.
It's not called a crow. A rooster
Or a
crow.
call.
A rooster crows, doesn't it?
A rooster doesn't crow.
A rooster
It
cock-a-doodle-doos.
But you don't call it a cock-a-doodle-doo. You call
No.
it a rooster call.
Rooster crow.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be.
It's called a rooster crow.
It's a rooster crow. Okay, so you
Yeah.
hear the rooster crowing. That's really annoying. And again, they do it at 4 o'clock in the morning. But that
Sure,
you at
right.
least can plan for. Here, you're just watching Regis and Kathy Lee. Like that's a bit much.
So what's the ultimate outcome?
The ultimate outcome here is this guy at some point is either going to get shot by his neighbors or shot by the police. That's my prediction.
Or a neighbor's going to come on like Rob would to his roof, and then he's going to shoot the guy that came out his roof.
Yeah.
Someone's getting shot here.
There's
I
going
don't
to
know
be
how it's going to
shooting
happen, but someone's
involved
getting
in
shot.
this train horn controversy.
Yeah, unfortunately, like when the police, through their normal methods, fail, it leaves it up to, violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Violence is
Neighbor
at this
disputes
end.
are
And I'm just saying, be a tough guy. Go up on his roof and get the horn. Just don't be surprised when you faffo.
when you do FAFO.
Someone's
indeed.
fafoing.
and
here.
he's got a weapon in his home and he defends his property.
There is some extreme FAFO happening in
Yikes.
this story.
It's
That is for
crazy.
sure. That is for sure.
But what an annoyance.
What an annoyance.
Okay, quickly,
Yes.
in 2 minutes.
We can do it.
Last story from the ABAjournal.com site. Court clerk staffers in New Orleans dig through landfill to find wrongly tossed court records.
Yeah. So you're having a bad day at work. You're a government employee. You don't like your job to begin with. All you are is a file clerk, and all of a sudden you get the phone call. Hey, Jeff, you got to go out down to the landfill. We threw away a bunch of court records we shouldn't have, and you got to dig them out of the dump. That's what happened in the city of New Orleans. One of their courts was going through a remodel. And so all of the records. So now, generally speaking, under most states' law, court records, especially related to criminal proceedings, have to be maintained forever. Like there's no it's just you keep them. So the problem is courts are now finding, we have piles and piles of paperwork. What do we do with this stuff? Well, what do we do with it? Well, we put it in storage containers out in the parking lot and hope, for the best. Well, in this situation, as part of the construction job, they thought the storage container was garbage.
Oh, no.
And they took all of these court records to the dump and dumped them in the dump.
They didn't write on the container, do
not throw
out.
away important court records. Well, you don't want to draw attention to
I guess.
because then the record thieves will come.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them.
A lot of the record thieves.
Yeah, they're
So
armed.
all these court employees are basically tasked to go down to the dump and dig around to look for boxes of old, and these are from like the 60s and the 50s too, mind you, trying to find all these old court records because they're not digitized. There's no other record of it. And under state law, they're required to maintain them.
Wow.
That's a
Well,
crappy,
that's terrible.
That's a garbage day if there ever was one at work. That sucks.
quite literally.
And in the summer heat in New Orleans at the dump.
They're not, whatever they're paying those people is not enough.
That is exactly right.
Our thanks to the Menn Law Firm for loaning Will to us this morning. You can find out more about Will's practice by going to mennlaw.com. That's mennlaw.com, men with 2 N's, mennlaw.com. Thank you, sir.
Stay warm.